Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Ms. Trump, it seems there's biased administrators are empowered by their school's ability to define harassment, past what Title IX provides, resulting in weaponized and fluid definitions of serious terms. Would it be responsible for Congress to provide schools with clarity on what is and what is not harassment?
Yes, currently there is something called the Davis Standard in place on Title IX, and this is something that through our lawsuits we've also had universities implement in their other harassment and anti-discrimination policies. This Davis Standard has a very high bar for what kind of speech can be considered harassing conduct. And because of that, it balances, it's the best example we've seen to date that balances First Amendment rights and protections with protecting students through these policies. And that Davis Standard says that in order for speech to be considered harassing conduct, it has to be so severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive that to the point where students don't have equal access to education. And that is the best example we've seen, and it would be great if Congress was interested in codifying something like that.
Well, that kind of answers my next question, so I'll go ahead and leave that at that. Ms. Nozzle, I think it's important to remember that my Democratic colleagues also value the First Amendment. As the Democrat witness, who is fully invested in protecting free speech on college campuses, in which specific areas should Democrats and Republicans on this committee work together to address this specific issue?
I think shining a spotlight on those shared concerns, reinforcing those shared concerns, and the basic precepts of the First Amendment. I think the kinds of legislation that we've seen, Mr. Shapiro just said he'd be hesitant to see legislation trying to dictate who could and can't be hired on college campus. And I wonder why that same concern is not raised in relation to what can and can't be taught on a college campus, or whether a college campus can have something called a DEI office that may deal with things like veterans affairs and disability rights issues, along with other topics. So I think reinforcing that basic precept of the First Amendment that says, this is not the realm of legislation, that academic freedom on campus needs to be protected, that we need a buffer zone so that it's not direct intervention and political dictates saying what can and cannot be taught. I think that's a place where I would hope we can come together.
Thank you.